Up until recently, the iPad Air has been one of my favorite Apple lineups, and quite possibly my favorite iPad, only recently being usurped by the iPad mini. And that's almost entirely because I've used it in all 4 iterations of its existence, from 2013 all the way up until 2020 and 2021, the iPad Air 4. Speaking of which, today I'm going to be cracking open this box that I've already opened and thoroughly used, but for the sake of content and for helping you maybe decide whether or not this is the iPad for you, we're going to do it again. So without further ado, let's hop into the iPad and a couple accessories that go along with it. So this is the iPad Air 4. It came out in, I want to say October. It was announced in September, it came out in October of 2020. And here we are a little over a year later, finally getting around to making a video on it. I've had this thing since like late June. I've definitely had some decent amount of time to work with it. I guess without further ado, let's open her up. I did end up getting the space gray color because that was all that my Walmart had when I impulse bought this. Although it's the most boring color of the bunch, I did fix that with a nice little retro Apple skin. I believe this was from Slick Wraps. If I can still find it, I'll leave it linked down below. No hate on space gray, it's just kind of not the coolest anymore. We get our 20, is this 18 or 20? 20 watt USB-C power brick and a USB-C to USB-C cable to charge it. This is about 1 meter in length. With that out of the way, this is the iPad. It's already got some smudges on it, but that's okay. So similar to every other iPad that's ever existed, this is an LCD display, so you're not going to get true blacks. You can see it on Bcam. There was a distinguishable difference between the black of the bezel and the black of the screen. So this is a 10.9 inch LCD display. It's about the same size. It's the same footprint as the 11-inch iPad Pros. Really the only difference between it on the front is just there's no Face ID. The screen's slightly smaller, 0.1 inches. It's not super noticeable, but when you hold them side by side, the difference is there to the trained eye. Now inside this thing, it's got the A14 Bionic. Yes, it did actually show up in an iPad for an iPhone, and it's accompanied by 4 gigs of RAM, so hopefully it should be able to carry this thing through, ideally, iOS 20. It's got plenty of power under the hood to take care of whatever you want or need it to do, and it should be pretty strapped for power to keep doing that for many, many, many years to come. Now, unlike the other previous 3 iPad Airs, or I guess previous 2, because the first one didn't have it, Touch ID. There's no home button here. We got the whole full screen display. Where'd it go? Right here. The power button has Touch ID sensor built in, so we tap it and wake and put my finger on it. It lets me in. I didn't think I would like this. Earlier this year, before I bought this, I'm gonna let you in on a secret. I actually shot a video reviewing the iPad Air 3 because I've had the iPad Air 3 since like 2019. I was gonna do like a 2-year to the day review, and I said to myself, until the iPad Air gets Face ID, I don't think I'm gonna take the step up. You know, Touch ID and the power button sounds cool, but you know, I'm used to having it here. I didn't publish that because I completely walked back on it. This is the far superior Touch ID implementation, at least until we get it under the screen. Once we get it under the screen, and I don't really think we'll ever see that on iPads, but this is it. So I've talked enough about the iPad itself. Let's hop into some of the accessories. Let's start with the Apple Pencil. This is the Apple Pencil 2. Has been largely unchanged since 2018 with the iPad Pros. I have it skinned here to look like a number 2 pencil. This was not skinned by dbrand. I do have one skinned by dbrand. This, I believe, is also Slick Wraps, so if I can find that, that'll also be down below. You just stick it onto the side, it starts charging, there you go, that's how it pairs. It's just always there. Now, I'm not like an artist, I'm not like a writer. I don't use this for writing or drawing that much, if ever, actually. But it's nice to have, it does feel really nice. And then finally, take a look at the Magic Keyboard. Again, yes, I do have a skin on it. This one is skinned by dbrand. I skinned it with a dbrand skin. They did not skin this, they did not send this to me. I paid $350 for the keyboard and like another $50 for the stupid stickers to put on it. So I am not sponsored in any way by dbrand, but if any of you robots are watching this, hit me up. I love stickers. Seriously, I have a problem. But yeah, this is the Magic Keyboard that originally came out with the iPad Pros at the beginning of 2020, and with the iPad Air, you get the smart connector on the back. So really all you gotta do is put the keyboard down, drop the iPad onto it, just like that, and then you see the keyboard actually starts to light up, telling you that you're ready to go. You get your trackpad. It's not a Force Touch trackpad, it is a more of a diving board mechanism a la MacBook Pros pre-2015. So it does physically move. There is movement to it. There's no Taptic engine in it, which is all right. It does the job. You can actually click it anywhere. It does feel nice. It's in a good spot. The keys feel nice. They have a nice bit of travel. It is the Magic Keyboard, so there's no butterfly switches. Very small opportunity for you to get things under these keycaps and get them stuck and then have to buy a whole new one. This keyboard case, though, has changed the way I use my iPad. This is, if you're a big typer, one of the best, if not the best keyboard you can use with your iPad. Hands down. There is zero competition out there. And if there is competition, it's from Apple with their other keyboards. There's no competition. This is the best keyboard to use with your iPad. You can also charge the iPad through the Magic Keyboard. So you have a USB-C pass-through. You can actually leave it plugged in just like that, and then just kind of drop your iPad on it, and it will start charging. So, being a year later, should you, if you're looking into this, should you get it? If the iPad isn't enough for you, or it just looks old or whatever, the iPad Pro is out of your budget, and the iPad Mini is just a little too small for you, yes. However though, it does start at 64 gigs of storage, like every iPad lineup outside of the Pro. The Pro starts at 128. Some people are fine with 64. In my case, I haven't quite run up against that barrier with this iPad, but I know some people download everything. So for those of you, your next option is 256. That's like kind of a lot, and you're also kind of running up on iPad Pro territory as far as pricing goes. So if you absolutely know that you can and will survive on 64 gigs for now, next month, next year, 3 years down the line, whatever, if you know you can survive on that much storage with this iPad, go for it. This is pretty much the quintessential iPad experience. This is the firm middle ground. This is just enough features pulled from the iPad Pro with just enough cuts and cost savings from the iPad to just kind of culminate in, well, in this. And it's a solid package. Late 2021, should you buy the iPad Air 4th gen? If you're looking into it and this is on your roadmap, definitely keep looking into it. It is a solid purchase. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a like or a dislike, because no one can see that anymore. Get subscribed, leave a comment telling me what iPad you use to watch this video, if you even used an iPad to watch this video. Let me know. I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.